this feeling like it's starting now, starting now. I feel adventurous with you, and there is nothing that can hold us back, hold us back. We can do what we want to do, 'cause we got all the time in the world. For better or worse, we should stay together. So let's stay young and in love. We should focus on us.
G'day, my name's Rex and welcome to another episode of Rex's Adventures. Today we're going to tackle Googs Track, an amazing track that a gentleman by the name of John Denton took 3 years to forge through back in 1976. It's a full credit to him. It's got plenty of sand dunes and plenty of challenges along the way. A bit of camping, it's going to take us a couple of days. So how about we go and enjoy the adventure together? Let's get going.
Forever, yeah, baby, if you are feeling like I do, we can run away across the ocean. Baby, what you say? We can leave today. Anywhere we'll go, we'll be alright. It's all about you. It's all about you.
Good morning. We've pulled up at the Denton Family Memorial. It's a fantastic memorial for Goog, who has left this incredible legacy behind, known as Googs Track, that we're doing at the moment. We're only 78 k's from Mount Finke at the moment, but we've stopped to pay our respects, and it's a little bit early for a beer at the moment, just because we've arrived in the morning. But we're going to put some money up here for Dinger. So Dinger was Goog's son, and he passed away in 1993 from a tragic car accident. And one of Dinger's mates came out here and put some money in the tree, so that if Dinger ever wanted a Southwark bit of long neck, he'd be able to afford one. So we've got some coins. We're going to chuck them in the tree just to pay our respects and say thanks for putting in so much work and knocking this track up north. So good on you guys, well done. And if you're coming through Googs, make sure you do the same. Drop in and have a look at the Denton Family Memorial and pay your respects, because a lot of work went into it and we all greatly appreciate it. We've arrived here at Googs Lake. So we've been beating along the track this morning, stopped at the memorial, and as you saw, and we've arrived at the lake. Now the lake is fantastic. It's 1 kilometre wide and 15 kilometres long. It's actually pretty big. Googs Lake is obviously a salt lake, and you're prohibited from going on it, which is a good thing. You would never ever go on a salt lake anyway. But the campgrounds here is something that I just want to tell you about, because it's fantastic. It's well defined. There's camp areas assigned. People have had fires in designated areas. They're fantastic. You've got toilets here. Essentially, great place to stop. If you're coming along Googs Track, it's a really good place to stop and put up camp for the night. Now it's $12.50 a night, which is more than reasonable, because they are looking after the place. And that gives you the long drop toilet. So honestly, put this down as one of your campsites. I reckon it's fantastic. Anyway, we better hit the tracks, keep on going.
Just hold my hand and we will be okay. Yeah, it's true. 'Cause we got all the time in the world. For better or worse, we should stay together. So let's stay young and in love. We should focus on us forever.
I wanted to take a couple of seconds just to talk about tyres. As we're travelling along Googs Track, there's a hell of a lot of corrugations. Now corrugations generally, I mean vehicles these days with all of their traction aids and computer technology, corrugations are going to become a thing of all tracks around Australia, but they're particularly bad here because some of the tyre pressures are just too high. There's a few myths around the place. Now we're running a BF Goodrich mud terrain, which is a KM3. These tyres I'm running 14, 15 pound in the front, and I'm actually running about 16 pound in the back, just because I'm carrying a fair bit of load. Now this tyre, as you can see, it's bellowed out a little bit on the bottom, but it's still got a lot of tyre. It takes a lot of impact. That will help with a number of things. Fuel economy. Your vehicle's not digging through the sand with high tyre pressures, and most importantly, it maintains the tracks. So if you're going to come and do Googs Track, remember, you don't have to go below 10 or 12 pound, it's probably silly to, but try and stick somewhere between 12 and 18 pounds on your tyres. You'll certainly maintain the tracks.
Here's what I like. Laying on the beach with sunlight in my eyes, laughing with my friends under the sky, following our hearts so then we take a ride. Wherever, I always try to let my spirit fly, fly away. That's the only way to get that high.
We're just cruising along Googs Track, and I'm really keen to hear from anybody who's done this track from north to south. We're doing it south to north, so we started in Ceduna and we're heading up to Glendambo. But if you've done it the other way around, post a comment down below, because I'm really keen to hear what you thought of the track. Was it challenging? Do you think it was hard? Because thus far, I'm finding south to north very hard because of the whoops. So I'm finding it very challenging, thoroughly enjoying the track. I reckon it's great. There's a lot of four-wheel drive challenges. And of course, it is a little bit whooped out, south to north. Now, from what I can see, it's not so bad north to south. But yeah, like I said, we'd love to hear from you guys. So post something in the comments below. We'll have a look.
If you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle. If you're looking for trouble, I am the needle who will push your bubble, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna fight pieces.
We're just cruising along the amazing Googs Track, and it's certainly thrown out a few challenges. We're currently on, officially probably you could say, day 2, because we're not doing big days. We're only driving for about 4 or 5 hours each day. Our average is about 5 or 6 kilometers per hour. I'm finding that a lot of the track is pretty heavily whooped out, as it is in the Simpson Desert and everything else. But the thing is, a little bit like that. But the thing is, I would do the track north to south. I think it would be far more enjoyable. The northern face of all these dunes seems to be quite smooth, in stark contrast to the southern face. The southern face is definitely got a lot more whoops, some pretty high tyre pressures, and I think that's a big part of it. But we certainly haven't really got past 4th gear, and this is an 8-speed car. So it's a track that it's certainly challenging, and that's good. It's pointless doing a track that isn't challenging. I've just got a soft bit here. I've just got to get up there. No, and we are bogged. Okay, we're gonna try and go back. The problem is that we can't get a run up. You cannot plough through these whoops. So because we can't get a run up, we have to crawl up in 1st or 2nd gear, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. So don't think it's not challenging or it's just a track. Maybe you've seen footage previously. It is challenging. It's what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lock the dips in, which will help us immensely. But again, because of those whoops on the southern side of all these dunes, there's no way that you can get a run up to get over. Now I'm just going to concentrate for half a minute. We've got those diff locks, we'll get over easy now. Straight over. Okay, not hard. So it's lovely to have diff locks, but obviously for those of you who don't have them, it's a bit of fun. Welcome to Quick Cooking with Rex. We're going to show you lemonade scones today. I love to do everything quickly. I'm also kneeling down in front of this because I forgot the damn table. Sorry about that, but that's fine. I've been using the tailgate in the meantime. What we're going to do, lemonade scones is a fantastic recipe. All we're going to do very quickly, again, we've got our trusty cup. We've got 3 cups of flour, so 1, 2, 3, like that. It's as simple as that. 1 cup of cream, which is that, and 1 cup of lemonade. So very simple recipe. Now that's frothed up. But 1 cup of lemonade, in it goes, like that. Okay, nice and quick, nice and easy, nice and simple. We're going to do this in the camp oven as well, just so we can show you guys how to do it. Now, we just want to fold this into the bowl because we don't want to really whip it, you know. The scones come out pretty tough if you do that. So what we'll do is we'll fold it in like that, and we'll show you guys how to knead it now. Well, we mix it up. Essentially, what we need to do now is knead it a bit on the board, a little bit of flour on there, a little bit of flour on the old hands as well. So again, keeping it nice and clean and simple. Let's get this and we'll get it out. Oh, bit left in there. So what we'll do is we'll just throw a little bit of flour over the top of that. So essentially there's our scones like that, and all we're going to do is just sort of fold it in a bit. Again, you don't want to give it a really hard time because they will come out tough. So all we're going to do is fold it in a bit, just knead it a little bit, as they say, just like that. And of course the flour's preventing it sticking to my hands too much. So we're just going to do it like that, pretty simple. We don't need to get too high tech with it. Now, as you can see, I've got it into a bit of a square like that, so that we can actually cut it up with a knife, turning it into our scones. So what we're going to do is just cut it into our sort of scone sizes if you want, so they're reasonably even. You don't want some cooked, some not, like that. So, and what we'll do, we'll make them into little balls in a minute. Now this here is the trivet. This here is the camp oven. It's important to have a trivet so that we don't burn things on the bottom. What we're going to do is chuck the scones in there, and then we're going to baste them with a little bit of milk once they're in there, just a little bit of milk, just because it helps them brown up a little bit. So basting brush, bit of milk, or a bit of milk in your finger, it doesn't really matter. Let's get them in there, let's get them on the fire and see how we go. Well, we've grabbed our scones out, absolutely fantastic. We did it in the camp oven on the fire. Now, the trick is, like I said, slow. Slow is the best way to go. So these have taken about 25 minutes. We don't just throw them straight in the fire because they'll just burn. But as you can see, absolutely beautiful scones. Lemonade scones, fantastic, with jam and cream. And good for the track. Whilst we're driving along, we can grab a scone.
what I like. Jumping from a roof that is almost too high. Laying on the grass, I close my eyes. Playing my guitar to my
We can see Mount Finke over there in the distance. So pretty exciting. We're going to go and have a look. It's quite unique that it's the only hill in such a huge area of sand dunes. And I think that's what makes it special. It's well worth doing Googs Track, so you can come have a look at it. It's something to see, and this is significantly better than a lot of the other four-wheel drive tracks in the sense that there's not many people out here. It is sand hills, it is challenging. If you're a first-time four-wheel driver and your car doesn't have any sort of high clearance on it at all, you need to come with someone else so that they can snap strap you out some of these tricky positions, because there are some challenges here. So if you are a first timer and looking to do this as a one-off, make sure you've got some company with you. If you've done it before, you'll absolutely love it. If you've done four-wheel driving, even if you've just done simple beach driving, Fraser Island, things like that, this track will be a breeze for you. So get out here and give it a go.
I've been waiting all my life for someone like you. I would watch the days go by, wasted and blue. I was out of use. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for crazy for love. Crazy for love. Whenever lost, whenever down, you know what to do, to do. There's no mountain I won't climb to be right by your side, right by your side. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for
Well, we've crossed the railway line, and that means the end of Googs Track. We made it, and Bess made it. Fantastic car. We came prepared. We've certainly done all the sand dunes, and probably, I think, done it at a great time of year in winter. It's been a little bit windy, but other than that, we've had a really good run with the weather, and we've had a hell of a lot of fun along the way. I want to throw a big thank you out to Lucy and Anthea, who have helped me with the camping and the filming along the way. So greatly appreciate that, and I'm sure that they've enjoyed the trip as well. They're standing behind the camera, I'm sure that they have. But I can tell you that the track was not easy. It is not an easy track. It's a good intermediate track. There is a fair bit of four-wheel driving, 360 odd or 363 sand dunes, something like that, and 350 k's from Sejuna through to Glendambo. So it is a track well worth doing. I would definitely do it north to south. The southern face of the dunes is very, very whooped out, and it made it very hard to get any speed to approach them at all. And as a result, we bogged down a few times. So I think it's worth doing north to south. If you're keen to go south-north or northbound on the track, which is the most common way to go, it's fine, you'll make it, but it's a bit like a martini, shaken, not stirred. So everything got shook around pretty well going up that way just because of those whoops. thanks Goog for knocking a track through. Really appreciate it, and a hell of a legacy to leave behind you, mate, so good on you. Now, thanks for watching, guys. If you can, subscribe and like. The button's over there somewhere. I'm just going to point that way. If you can hit the big thumbs up, that would be great. We really appreciate that. And once again, thanks for sticking with us, and stay tuned. We're off to the border track next. So thanks again, and I hope you have a great day and keep seeing Australia. Bye for now.